Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and unpack one of the most remarkable and frankly completely unlikely comebacks we've seen in recent cricket history. We're talking about a player that a lot of fans and pundits thought was, permanently fading into the background of Indian cricket. But then he goes and totally rewrites his own script in 2026. This isn't just a story about finding form again. It's a complete reinvention at an age when most fast bowlers are literally hanging up their boots. Yep, we're talking about the one and only Bhuvneshwar Kumar.
To truly appreciate where he is right now, we kind of have to rewind to 2022, that T20 international match in Napier against New Zealand. Yeah, that was the last time the 36-year-old veteran actually put on the blue jersey for India. And in the super fast-paced, cutthroat world of Indian cricket, 4 years is an absolute eternity. After that series, he seemingly just slipped right out of the international spotlight. The narrative was that younger, faster bowlers were the priority, and Bhuvneshwar's best days were firmly behind him, which honestly makes his current overwhelming dominance in franchise cricket incredibly unexpected.
So, here is how we're going to break down this incredible return today. We'll start with his IPL resurgence, then look at how he's dominating the wicket charts, unpack how he's evolving his quiet craft, talk about the national team snub, and finish up with his ego-free mindset.
All right, part 1, a veteran's IPL resurgence.
So after falling out of favor internationally in 2022, Bhuvneshwar didn't just fade away or accept some quiet retirement. No way. Instead, he found a completely new gear when he joined the Royal Challengers Bengaluru. In 2025, he absolutely proved the doubters wrong, playing a massive role in their maiden title win and bagging an impressive 17 wickets in 14 games. But the real story is what happened next. Instead of resting on those laurels, letting age catch up to him, he used that 2025 victory as a springboard. He carried that exact momentum forward into an even more spectacular and dominant 2026 season, proving for sure that his resurgence was no fluke.
Moving on to part 2, dominating the wicket charts.
The sheer volume of his success this season is just mind-blowing. The numbers he's producing are absolutely staggering for a 36-year-old medium-pace bowler, especially in a league heavily skewed toward aggressive, explosive batting. Whether you're looking at the Hindustan Times putting him at 28 wickets for the season in second place for the Purple Cap, or the Times of India noting he was tied for first place with Kagisa Rabada at 24 wickets earlier in the campaign, the consensus is undeniable. And it's not just the volume either. With an elite strike rate of 13.75, meaning he's grabbing a wicket almost every 2 overs he bowls, and an economy of just over 8 runs an over, the data proves he is an elite force. He is literally suffocating run rates while simultaneously dismantling batting lineups.
Okay, let's get into part 3, evolving the quiet craft.
Now, you might be wondering, how exactly is a 36-year-old achieving these astronomical numbers in such a ruthless league? Well, it's a sheer masterclass in adaptation. His vast international experience means he can read a pitch instantly. He only pitches the ball up when the track offers immediate movement. If it doesn't, he pulls his length back, flat out refusing to offer easy driving length to modern power hitters. This calculated control has netted him 15 massive wickets in the power play alone. But wait, he isn't just an early over specialist anymore. He's evolved his arsenal to dominate the chaotic death overs too. By mixing up his lengths, consistently nailing pinpoint Yorkers, and unleashing this newly refined knuckleball that just dips sharply at the last second, he's totally compensating for any lack of raw pace with absolute surgical precision. But here's the thing. You can't bowl with that kind of surgical precision, game in and game out, without the physical legs to support it. Fast bowling takes a massive toll on the body, so he is staying supremely fit by strategically managing his workload. By decisively cutting down on year-round standard domestic cricket, he's using specific regional tournaments, like the UPT20 League, as a targeted physical launchpad. It basically allows him to find his rhythm and get his body into peak match condition, specifically for the grueling 2-month marathon that is the IPL. It's brilliant, ensuring he doesn't burn out before the playoffs even start.
And his value goes way beyond the scorecard. Aside from his super potent bowling partnership with Josh Hazelwood, which, let's be honest, has been giving openers nightmares, his mentorship is foundational to the team's culture. RCB captain Rajat Patidar hit the nail on the head, noting that Bhuvneshwar is constantly talking to junior players. He's guiding guys like Rasik Dar through the intense mental pressures of top-flight cricket. He's essentially acting as an on-field bowling coach, and that kind of veteran leadership, it is deeply valued in a high-stakes dressing room.
Of course, let's keep it real for a second. It hasn't been an entirely flawless season.
He did have a brutal reality check against Sunrisers Hyderabad, where he got taken for 51 runs without taking a single wicket. Ouch, right? But rather than being a sign of physical decline, this really just highlights the unforgiving reality of modern T20 cricket. The game is designed for batters to clear the ropes. On certain days, even the absolute masters get hit. What defines a bowler's greatness isn't never getting hit, it's how they mentally process that beating and bounce right back in the very next game.
Which brings us to part 4, the national team snub.
So, despite bouncing back better than literally anyone could have predicted, we arrive at this totally perplexing contradiction. The selectors have decisively looked elsewhere, strictly locking into a youth mandate to build for the future. They've omitted him from several major upcoming series. He was passed over for the tours of England and Ireland and left out of the squad for the upcoming Asian Games. Even though he's statistically one of the best bowlers in the country right now, the door to the national team appears to be completely, firmly shut.
And finally, part 5, the ego-free mindset.
So, how does a veteran, bowling at the absolute peak of his powers, handle being actively ignored by his country? Because there's an intense public outcry right now demanding his return to Team India. Fans are screaming for it on social media, pundits are debating it on TV every single night. But Bhuvneshwar's own reaction? It is one of quiet, almost shocking acceptance.
In this incredibly zen-like statement addressing all the noise, Bhuvneshwar said, "It's my nature that I don't want to show that I want to play. I think everyone is doing their job. Selectors are doing their job." He completely refuses to campaign for a spot. In a modern sports world that's so driven by aggressive PR campaigns, cryptic social media posts, and athletes demanding respect, he demonstrates a total, refreshing lack of ego.
He actually goes on to say, "I'm doing my job. It's their responsibility to select. If they think I'm good enough, they will do their job." He is maintaining a strict, unyielding focus on the only thing he can actually control, his on-field performance and executing the very next delivery. He completely refuses to let off-field politics or selection debates distract him. That is a level of psychological maturity that is just incredibly rare at the elite level.
Man, when you look at his overall legacy, his perspective tells you everything you need to know. He views his past national opportunities with immense gratitude, simply stating he's one of the lucky ones that I have played. Rather than looking at his current absence with bitterness, resentment, or some sense of entitlement, he looks back at his decade of international service with deep pride. He gets the privilege of having represented his country, and he chooses to focus on that joy rather than the frustration of being left out. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this provocative thought to ponder. We are currently watching a master craftsman at work, dominating the hardest, most lucrative T20 league in the world at 36 years old. But the ultimate question remains, can sheer, undeniable performance eventually overrule a national selector's youth-focused mandate? Or perhaps more importantly, does it even matter if Bhuvneshwar Kumar is already completely at peace with his legendary status? Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and definitely keep your eyes on the pitch to see how this incredible story unfolds next. Okay,